In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made these Easter ornaments. I recently discovered a website called thegraphicsfairy.com, which specifically caters to offering a range of free printable graphics. There is an overwhelming amount of content on the home page, so I'm going to go directly into the search bar in the upper right hand corner and type in Easter. Some of their images are only available through their membership, but there are plenty of graphics to work with that are completely free. I like bunnies and I like free, so this title is an easy sell and taking the lead click. Once you decide which images you want, all you have to do is click on them and either save them to the desktop or camera roll of your phone, and you can print them directly. Just remember to modify the size of the image in the print preview section and make them smaller, otherwise they will likely be too large to use. Now that we have these printed, we need something to frame or hold the images. And while there's no limit to what items you could use here, I rely on whatever materials I already have to dictate the supply terms. And today that just so happens to be some jar lids. For those of you that are unfamiliar with mason jars, they come with a two-piece lid top. They are rather inconvenient lids if you are using these jars on a daily basis like I do, which is why I depend on the many alternative options available instead. As a result, I have an abundance of these factory lids that aren't being used. Because of that, I'm always looking for any opportunity to create something with them, and today happens to be one of those circumstances. For the first ornament style, we are just going to use the interface flat piece. We are going to cut the image to match the size of the lid and attach it with glue. I have an uneven ratio of these lid parts, which is why we are going to use both separately and make two different styles. Next, we're going to create a facade of a frame by gluing some gold cord ribbon on the outer edge. I got this specific style from Joann Fabrics, but any rope or cord ribbon would work. We're going to repeat this move with another layer of pearl ribbon right in front of the cord. This ribbon is also from Joann Fabrics, but pearl ribbon is usually easy to find year-round at any craft store because it's always in high demand for wedding projects. The final step is putting something behind the image to make it more visible on the tree. You could use any type of decorative paper that you want. However, I'm going to use some of these metallic cupcake liners that I found at Dollar Tree. All we're going to do here is pretend that these are paper, and we're going to cut a slit inside of them and gently spread that cupcake liner out. And then we're going to glue our image right down in the middle. And then we will take a separate cupcake liner and cut a smaller portion of it off and attach it directly on the back with some glue, just to make it look like it's one cohesive piece. And that's all you have to do, aside from putting something on the back to make it ready to hang on the tree, but I'm going to show you that at the very end. I would have made all of my ornaments like this, but I ran out of these flat face lids, so the next style is going to be made using just the rim lids. The fastest and easiest way to do this is by using what I've been calling ribbon tape. However, the Dollar Tree calls it glitter ribbon. That's the name that's on the label. But you can see why I gave it that name, because it works just like you would think ribbon tape would, and it goes on almost like a sticker. It's actually really strong and works so well. I didn't think it was going to work, so I didn't get that much of it, and I only had enough to cover about 3 of the lids. So I had to take some regular ribbon and glue it on with my glue gun on the remaining 2. We're just going to think of these lids as mini picture frames that we're using to frame a picture. In order to get our pictures to fit inside the frame, we have to print them a lot smaller, which always makes the picture translate really funny because it is never quite the right size. So to be on the safe side, I'm just taking some scrapbook paper that I've had for years, and I'm going to trace the inside of the lid onto the paper and then cut them out and use the sheets as backdrop for all of the photos. And it might look a little bit disjointed in the beginning when we glue the pictures on these pre-cut pieces of paper. However, I have an idea of how to remedy that we'll do at the very end. Once I have these graphics glued to the scrapbook paper, I'm then going to glue them inside of the lid. We have one last portion of this lid to cover completely, and that is this part right here. We're going to take some lace ribbon and glue it around the frame of the lid. I have two different styles of lace ribbon here that are both from Joann's. I couldn't decide on which one to use, so I'm not going to choose. I'm going to use them both. I am going to actually get some pink ribbon though first, and I'm going to attach it right behind this lace ribbon. Using hot glue would be really messy and probably show, so I'm going to use a permanent tape adhesive runner and run it along the back of the lace ribbon so that this pink ribbon will attach to it really quickly. This is just going to really elevate the look of the lace, and it's also going to make sure that none of the tin lid is visible. It takes like 5 seconds, and I think it makes all the difference. So then you'll just glue that on top of the lid, and now we are ready to add our cupcake liners for the backdrop. These lid fixtures are actually smaller than the other ones, so we don't need to make any modifications in the cupcake liners by cutting them. We can just take the jar lid and glue it directly on top of the cupcake liner as is. These are your ornaments, so you can decorate them as little or as much as you want. You could easily be done here, but for me, there's just not enough wow factor. I'm going to take my glue gun and randomly outline the picture with some glue and let it dry. Once this is dry, you should be able to run your fingers over it and have it feel almost like Braille. I'm then going to take a paintbrush from the dollar store and some Mod Podge from the dollar store and place it directly on those dried glue spots. And then I'm going to take some glitter from the dollar store and dump it right on top. Of course, you could just free-handedly throw some glue and glitter on top of the image, but I like to do it this way because it allows for more of a strategic placement and also creates somewhat of a 3D effect. But you know what happens whenever you add glitter to something? She makes everything look dull in comparison. So we're going to take some Mod Podge, but the gloss version, and we're going to put a layer of that over the images because they just all of a sudden looked really dull and tired. So not only is this going to immediately bring them back to life, but it's also going to make their colors even more vibrant than they were before, and it's also going to make them shine and glisten more when they're on the tree. And now for the royal touch. We're going to take some jewelry brooches and put them right inside of that cord ribbon so that way when the season is over we can easily take them out and reuse them again for something else. If you saw my Valentine ornament video, then you know that we already used these once before. And now we will just top this girl and her sisters off with a bow. And now the other ornaments are jealous, so we're gonna have to give them some of their own special treatment. We're gonna take some half pearl stickers and put them on the center of this lace ribbon. Then we're gonna take some flower stickers and some other really cool stickers that I got from the dollar store. And that should just about do it. Finally, we are ready to place some ribbon on the back of these ornaments so that we can hang them on the tree. This is really fast and easy. We're just going to make an upside down V with our glue gun, and then we're going to lay our ribbon on top of that V and then just run a really heavy layer of glue over the top of that ribbon. And if you're wondering, is that really necessary? Yes, it absolutely is actually, because we need to put some weight on the back of this ornament because currently it is a little bit top heavy, and this is the perfect way to fix that. At last, here we are with our final product. In all the years prior, I really wasn't satisfied with my Easter tree. I think because it always felt really generic looking with nothing but egg ornaments on it. I still like them, but I already have the house saturated with egg and bunny decor, so I really wanted something different to look at when viewing the tree. And it was a huge challenge to create Easter ornaments that weren't eggs or bunny silhouettes, especially without spending any money. I mean, I did spend $3 on the cupcake liners, but other than that, I just used things I already had around my house, and truthfully, I didn't think I was going to be able to pull it off, but here is what I came up with as a result. Thank you so much for watching.